All right, welcome back to day 108 of 365, where I upload a video every single day. Today, I want to talk about a very specific topic. Adversity is a privilege. It's a quote by Alex Volkanovski, a legendary Australian UFC fighter. There was a comment left in my video by Better Stuff Media, a legend. Anyway, essentially, I've put it into the ChatGPT chat where everything is. We'll go back to day one really quick. What's the first thing that I typed into this? How to put yourself in a better position in life. Wow. Wow. Then a bunch of hypotheticals. What's a random hypothetical here? The give away everything dilemma. If you had infinite wealth, but every dollar you spent on yourself made a random stranger suffer, would you still use it? It's a good question. I was gonna say if it can just stuck to strangers, but I actually disagree. I think adult human people should be able to do whatever they want if it doesn't hurt another person, and that does hurt somebody, so I would not do it. Anyway, I want you to break down adversity is a privilege. And I'm just reading this because I think it's actually it's quite good. It's quite profound. It's making me think, and I wanted to share it. All right, here we go. Absolutely. Let's dig into that one. Adversity is a privilege. Number one, adversity reveals who you are. When everything's good, when you're coasting, most people don't look inward. Comfort doesn't test you. Success doesn't demand depth. But adversity, it puts a mirror in front of you that doesn't lie. You learn what you cling to. You learn who you are when nobody is watching. You learn what's worth breaking for and what never was. That kind of truth, it is a privilege, even if it hurts like hell. I'd agree a lot with this statement here. Sort of the same when you, I'm going to use a weird example, but stoners. People that smoke weed all the time. When you smoke weed, you get very comfortable in your setting, Maybe that is playing PlayStation all day, just sitting there playing PlayStation all day, not doing really anything. You get comfortable doing that because it's a vicious cycle. You smoke and you want to smoke more, and you stay, I want to say, trapped in that comfort loop where you don't want to change because it's nice, And adversity builds what comfort can't. Muscle tears before it strengthens. Trees grow deeper roots in storms, and people, we sharpen in pain. We gain empathy through loss. We find resilience not by reading about it, but by being cracked open. There's an old saying, I don't know, I actually don't know where it's from, but smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. We learn from our mistakes, we learn from our flaws and pain and suffering, and we become stronger each time. Because what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and all that jazz. Adversity gives you perspective. You suddenly know what matters and what doesn't. You learn patience as you learn to sit in discomfort without flinching. Power. You realize you survived what you thought would kill you. I read a book by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me, and he talks about it. The book is great. I really recommend it. It's filled with a lot of just motivation. It's a motivational speaker. He's been through it, and his message of you can do it, like any human can do whatever they want, is prevalent in the book. In this saying, you realize you survived what you thought would destroy you. He has this thing called the cookie jar, and taking a cookie from the cookie jar, where a cookie is something difficult you've been through, like a real hardship in your life, and the cookie they go in your memory, which is the cookie jar. They sit in there, and when you're faced with more challenge and more adversity, more difficulty, you can take a cookie, which is your previous difficult experience, and you can motivate yourself. You can draw energy from that because you can do it. You've done harder things before, so this task is, it's quite easy in comparison. I found it because I've worked some difficult jobs with long hours, hard tasks, etc. Going from excavation to working at FedEx. All the new job nerves and everything just went away. Sort of immediately when I realized, damn, I've done a lot harder than this. This is sort of nothing. I took a cookie from the cookie jar, and it made my experience so much better. Without the struggle, those strengths don't grow, and that kind of inner power is a privilege. Adversity gives you depth others don't have. Some people never face real hardship. They float. They don't understand heartbreak or loss or failure. They might live clean, successful, and privileged lives, but they lack a certain texture of soul. But you, if you faced adversity, you can hold space for others. You can listen without judging. You can comfort without cliches. You can sit with someone in the dark because you've lived there. And that kind of emotional intelligence and capacity is a privilege. Something I sort of noticed as I've grown up and existed in this world is that a lot of people, not that they have it easy, but not everyone has emotional intelligence. And they just won't understand, I suppose. They haven't really been through, not that they haven't been through difficulty and hardship, because everyone's life, we're all unique. We've all been through stuff, but they just haven't developed that sort of, I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but just this emotional intelligence. And I've had experiences where I've, I guess, spoken to the wrong people about things, and it's backfired because they just didn't understand, I guess, the depth of it. Adversity can give you freedom, because once you've been brought to your knees and got back up, what can really take from you? This is like the cookie from the cookie jar, fellas. You stop fearing failure. You stop needing approval. You stop being scared of the next wave because you've already drowned and learned how to breathe underwater. That kind of self-trust is hard won but powerful. So no, adversity isn't easy, it isn't fair, it isn't pretty, but if you face it consciously, if you refuse to waste your pain, it becomes more than just something you survived. It becomes the reason you became something real. Yeah, so that's that. I thought that was quite epic, to be honest. I like things that make me think, and that made me think. Whoa, this thing thinks we're on day 101. I asked for a hypothetical. It does not know the time. Okay, no, I don't want another one. The restart hypothetical. Wasted pain or earned depth. You're given a button. If you press it, you go back to... Okay, I'm not even going to read this one because it's the exact same thing. I'm going to go to the very end. It's essentially going to say... Like, I'm not even going to read it. I'm not going to read anymore, but it's going to say, would you trade peace for... Or maybe not peace, but, like, never going through pain for peace. Yes. You forget the betrayal. The nights you questioned your worth. You live peacefully untouched. No trauma, no baggage, no scars. I ain't gonna play with a hypothetical like that. I think it's lame. And I reckon this one might be different. The borrowed time hypothetical, when every single second counts. You wake up and find a letter on your chest. It reads, every moment from here on is borrowed. You have 365 days, not to live, but to matter. What you say, create, love will echo longer than you think. The catch, you don't know what happens after day 365. Maybe everything resets, maybe it ends, maybe it begins. How would you live today differently knowing your time wasn't guaranteed, but your impact was? Wow, that's actually a very good question. How would you live today differently knowing your time wasn't guaranteed, but your impact was? Well, I'm having a chill day. It's been a very, very, very nice day today. Just relaxing, chilling, existing in the presence of someone amazing. But how would I live it differently knowing my time wasn't guaranteed? Well, I've still got 365 days. So I'd probably continue because, I mean, we all need to relax, right? We need to have some fun. Would you still live today differently? No, I wouldn't. Not today. Would you still waste a second on silence that doesn't serve you? ... That's just kind of ominous. Anyway, that's day 100. I'm going to leave it here, fellas. I am just going to leave it here, simply put. Hope you all have a very good rest of your... It's the long weekend. It's Easter. Have a good Easter. Hope you get chocolate and shit. I actually don't have chocolate, I've realized. It's sad. No Easter eggs. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow for day 109. An epic... We're 108. We're going through it. We're getting through the days. There's only like 200 and... Fuck. How many days left in the year? 247. I think. No, that's fucked up. I think it's 257. $355. Yeah, it is 257. That was close enough. Anyway, goodbye. Oh, fuck.